What do you need? Why are you crying?
I'm tired. Everywhere I go, I have guys after me. Nothing protects me. It's like I can't do nothing. I just want to live my life.
I can't prevent them from doing their job, which is to take pictures. Do you need anything else? Can I assist you in anything else?
No, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you can see there the supermodel became extremely emotional in front of that Surfside police officer. And in the video, there's about 3 minutes of video here. The officer says, "Why are you crying?" And Bunchen goes on to say that she's being followed relentlessly by these paparazzi. And you can see how frustrated she is. At the end of the day here, though, that officer allowed her to go without a ticket, but she was very upset. Once again, we have a lot of video of this traffic stop.
You know, one thing that I always wondered is, before we get into this, is just how how is it that news anchors or anything, like, how are these people privileged to receive all of this like body cam information of like celebrities or like, you know, certain things that we see on the internet or stuff like that? But whenever it's something like super serious, why don't we ever get the body cam footage of that put on the news? Like that's just a random, you know, thought of that. But for those who don't know, this is Gisele Bündchen. She is the ex-wife of Tom Brady, supermodel, Victoria's Secret published supermodel. And basically what happened is that she got pulled over for a traffic stop and she became completely just like emotional. She had a meltdown, right? Like emotionally, she just like had it up to here and it all just came out. I thought it was interesting when I saw this because recently she just did an interview, I think it was with ABC News, and they were catching up with her. And when she was doing the interview with them, she was also broken down and crying. And the thing is that recently, I believe it was maybe in January, she unfortunately lost her mother. I believe it was some kind of health condition that her mother was going through. And so she lost her mother. And so I think maybe she's just been a little bit out of whack since then. But also during the conversation that she had with ABC News, she was very emotional talking about her divorce from Tom Brady. And that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. So basically, you know, we always see these celebrity women talk about how they're, you know, choosing themselves and that, you know, they don't have time for the foolishness and for the games. And, you know, they're not going to be, you know, waiting around for a man to get it together or anything like that. Like they're divorcing them and then they're going out and they're finding themselves and they're doing whatever it is that they got to do. And they you know, lead this facade of everything's perfect, everything's great, the grass is green, ain't no problems over here. You know, I'm living a life of luxury for maybe like a month, 2 months, 3 months. But then as time begins to progress and that man is, you know, still not coming home, I think when the reality actually sets in, they start to kind of reveal how painful, how hurtful, how sad, how emotional they really are based off of this series of events. They start to expose the real truth of being alone. We've seen it time and time again with vast different celebrities. Tia Moore is one person, for example. They come out, they singing these tunes, you know, because their support system of their, you know, their homegirls, the sisterhood, maybe their family or whoever, they're like cheering them on like, yeah, you could do better by yourself. You don't need him. You're your own person. You know, it's so easy to just walk away from all of these years that you spent with this person. You'll be completely fine. It's not going to be a big deal. You know, you're just going to get back to you. This is going to be the happiest moments of your life. And they're all singing that tune. But eventually what happens is all those people go home. They can't sit up with you day in and day out. They can't sit in the space that your husband was sitting in and you know, technically fill those shoes. They leave you alone in the thick of it. That's just the reality of the situation. And then when you go through certain hardships in your life, although those people are a phone call away or a text message away, it is not the same as if you have your husband in that space by your side. People always like to act like men are so worthless and women, men are the ones who benefit from having women in their lives. Women don't really, miss out on anything. It's not a big deal if you don't have a man, you're happier without them. Men just hold you back and stuff like that. But you see, when you are in a committed relationship with your husband, somebody who was there to vouch for you, support you, lead you, guide you, protect you. A lot of people think that the provision and protection is only financial. People forget that men, the men are the ones who are responsible for the, carrying the emotional and even spiritual burden of their family. If their wife is not okay, if their wife is not right, they are the ones that are there to fix and use logic and their ears to hear and to console. It's them who is picking up the pieces. They're the ones, because it's their responsibility and their duty to protect you and cover you in all facets. A lot of women don't remember that, though, until they're alone for a certain period of time after, all that ego wears off. When real things happen in their life and real, problems arise, that's when they remember, man, now I remember the part that he played that was so important in my life. Man, now I remember why it was so important and vital for me to have him. Man, now I remember all the things that I was complaining about before didn't really matter. It was never about that. It was the intangible things that a lot of women put to the back of their mind and try to act like everything was all bad. A lot of these women, they get divorced and they show this glamour side. They make it seem like it's so glamorous and it's not a big deal and it's so, freeing. I love, when women are vulnerable enough to actually expose how it really feels. Because if women could see the truth of how it really feels, maybe it would make them think a couple of times before they convince themselves that they need to be single because everybody else is becoming single also. Maybe they will make them think a couple of times before they talk about, well, I don't really need him like that anyway. I could just leave. Matter of fact, I'm going to just divorce him. If only women know the truth. Yeah, you have people on social media talking about that, they get to pick up and go as they please. They don't got to answer to nobody, but there's things that come with that. On one side, you're only spoken for, you're only speaking for yourself. You only have to worry about yourself. But on the other side, it's only you there. Ain't nobody else worried about you either. Don't let people on social media portray a certain image of, don't nobody want to be with nobody. Oh, these men, they so replaceable. Oh, they need us more than we need them. Don't let anybody fill up your head with the nonsense and the foolishness. Because when reality sets in, all them people who was singing that tune are not going to be there when you need them the most. She's emotional because of maybe her, her emotional state is just, probably all over the place because maybe her biggest support system is now literally gone. I'm sure there's somewhere inside of her that she's wishing she could just pick up the phone and call him and say, man, I need you. I need you. I need you to get me together. I need you for just to help me calm myself down. I need you to help regulate my own nervous system. I need your support. I need you to console me. I can't do it all by myself. I'm not the big bad wolf. I can't figure this all out. Nobody else I call is going to understand to the depths that you would understand. The reason why I have these conversations is not necessarily because of the people who are in the video, but it's because of other people who are going to watch this video who are in relationships right now and who are taking them for granted. You're in a relationship with your husband and you nitpicking every small thing from A to Z. Think about the big picture. All these things that you're complaining about, is it worth throwing in the towel of your entire marriage? Over foolishness, over a feeling, or over emotions that are fleeting? You got to figure it out. You got to pick up the pieces. You got to do the work. Otherwise, your reality will be that you will feel good in the moment that you done stepped away or walked away from something, but when reality sets in, sometimes the truth of the matter is that that person who was really your person, you will spend the rest of your time trying to replace what you already had. Trying to measure other people up to the person that you were already with. I have to say it again. A lot of people make it seem like men are so worthless and meaningless, and they need us more than we need them, and men are the ones who receive most of the benefit in marriages, and women are the ones who do not seem it to do not receive them, and all these things. Don't believe the hype. There are a list of things that men provide in relationships that women sometimes let it go over their head. Like I said again, provision and protection is not only financial, it's emotional. The clarity that they provide, sometimes you can be so clouded in your brain and have a million thoughts going at one time. You go speak to your spouse and you say, oh, all you got to do is this. Get you right together. All of a sudden you're like, oh, why was I overwhelmed? Why did I think I couldn't get it together? They pick up the pieces for you. Sometimes a lot of women, they want to run because things get a little bit more difficult when you have somebody who is showing you. And you can't walk away from it. You can't deflect. You can't look at, well, what about this and what about, you can't go anywhere else. You have to sit in the truth of who you are. A lot of people don't want to. They want to be around the people who are clapping for them, who are applauding for them, who are telling them that they ain't doing nothing wrong. They ain't got no problems. They have no issues. They want to sit there. They'd rather the path of least resistance. But when you have a man who is leading you, guiding you, who is strong in who he is, who's sitting there in the thick of it with you, he's going to reveal you to you. And then it's going to call you to either act on it, evolve, grow, elevate, leave the ego behind, or flight. You're going to fight to change, or you're going to fly. Run. Escape. Oh, I don't need this. I can't take this. This is just too much. It's up to you. Again, I do want to say my condolences to Gisele, and I hope that she, gets to a space that she is emotional, more, just feels better. Just has that grace to feel better, because, I cannot imagine, like I said, she went from having this whole family structure, thought it was a good idea to go ahead and leave that situation because of him putting his career to the forefront, and, thought that was the best decision to have made. But maybe in hindsight, maybe she feels that it absolutely was not the best decision that she should have made. Now she was leaning on her family and support system, and then that same person that she was leaning on is no longer there. That's heartbreaking. But again, I love the fact that this is revealing the side that's not so glamorous, so people can see the truth. As she did in her ABC interview, when they asked her, how is she? And they asked her about the marriage, and she just started boohoo crying. I love that she's revealing the truth. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.